Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 17 of the Wake Up Podcast. Gang. Gang. Hello. So, yes. So, and today, sorry, my brain just farted.
It's a bit mad.
It is a bit mad. I was like, yeah, very mad. With your host.
Yeah. What happened? We got to episode 17. We can't remember how to intro our fucking episode. With your host.
And I was like, wait, I'm forgetting something. And anyways, with your host, the podcast professionals, me, Aisha.
And me, Lucy.
And today we are going to chat a little bit about whether we're optimists versus pessimists.
Yes, we are.
That was the worst intro I've ever done. Sorry.
No, it's good. It's all good. Yeah, we had some ideas for how to do this episode. Well, I did, and I think we'll roll with this way, and we'll see what you lot think and come in the journey. I don't know if this episode is going to be as long as our usual episodes, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because we are actually filming this pretty late, guys. So late night filming sesh. But yeah. So how's it been going back to school? I mean, you're not literally, but like as a teacher.
Yeah. So school's opened up again this week, starting March 8th, and it's been wild, very weird. Seeing people face to face again, very weird having kids around you and asking questions. It's been nice. Like in terms of teaching and lessons, like working from home was great. I do miss it. I miss the lay-ins. I miss eating lunch and eating food at home. I miss having a nap at lunchtime. But in terms of actually teaching lessons, it's to do it in school is the best way. So it's been good. I'm knackered though. I'm so exhausted.
I'm surprised. I literally don't speak to you at all. All you do is work.
Literally.
But this is why you need to drive your driving. This is why you need to drive your. This is why you need to pass your driving test. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you tell that I've been at work today? Whoa.
God, no. You got there in the end. But yeah, I need to. I got an email actually because I did have my test booked, but then obviously lockdown number 3 came along. But I've got an email the other day. It's going to be rescheduled for me, and hopefully it won't be too far away. I've started saving, got enough for a car. So summer 21 road trip.
Yes, finally. Cool. How was the test? How have you had to get tested then while you're in school? Like, how's that work for you?
So basically, it's like a home testing kit. So it's the lateral flow test,
like a pregnancy test.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. I'm like, no. I picked them up from school. We have to do them twice a week. I've got our own little swabs and little liquid. We need to put it in, and then you drop the liquid on there and you leave it for 30 minutes. And I'm negative, baby.
Finally, way! Jesus Christ!
I know. It's been a while, but yeah, I'm negative, so that's all good. Yeah, going in school, grinding, getting the P. You know how it is. Working along.
I do know how it is.
How have you been? How's work?
I've been all right. So I got 2 jobs, obviously, and we're coming up to exam season. So we've got 3 weeks. Oh god, tired. We've got 3 weeks left. And in those 3 weeks, we've got a shooting schedule. So we're doing the play filmed, and we're not doing it sequentially. So we're not doing it in an order of a play. We're doing it more like a filming schedule. So it's like you might shoot the end first, and then this and that. So that's how we're doing it. So we're back in the theatre next Thursday. So I have to go get tested at uni. So I've got to drive and go to the sports, the sports building.
Yeah.
So I've got to go there, and I've got to make sure it's at least 30 minutes before I go into the theatre, so I can get my results back in time. It's all very confusing because everyone kind of talks to me like I know what I'm doing, and I'm like, when you are a key worker, you don't get tested. Like there's no care or support as a key worker. Like I say that like I'm really important, like working in a supermarket. So I'm like a bit confused, but I've just got to double check some stuff. But yeah, I've got to do that once a week, because apparently, because I'm only in twice a week, I only need to do it once a week. But if I was in every day, I'd have to do it twice a week.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. And yeah, I'm excited to go in because that means I can bring your kimchi and drop that off, and bring your ramen and stuff, and drop Zoe off some stuff. Yeah, I'll probably
Yeah.
have to do that after work, because you don't get back till later, do you? We're gonna
No.
finish at like 6 usually every day.
Oh, at
So
uni.
yeah, so I can drive to yours after. But then my kimchi's gonna be in my car. Interesting. Much to think about.
Much to think about.
Much to think about.
Extra fermentation is gonna add to that flavour.
Mm.
That 4 month
It's
old
it's
kimchi.
been, I know, it's like been in the fridge for like 4 months. That stuff is definitely fermented by now. But yeah,
Oh,
so it's just been interesting because we've had to plan to go back, and it's just been crazy because obviously no communication at the university as usual.
oh my god,
I get
yeah.
to see Beck on Thursday,
Oh, do you? That's nice.
coming in to help with the scene we're doing. So yeah.
Amazing. I was going to say to you the other day, I'm really excited because we have an episode planned. I'm just going to spoil it because, yeah, a little taster of eventually I'll get into the world of it. Can I speak? Getting towards the end of this academic year, we're going to talk about our experiences as educators. You're in higher education in uni, and me in secondary school, and it's going to be interesting to see like lockdown and then coming back in school, our experiences. So
Mm,
very weird times, but it's going to be interesting to talk about that and reflect on that.
yeah,
But yeah.
definitely. But yeah, that's my life. I had did we? We haven't been. I haven't spoken about this on the podcast. I had a mental breakdown at work as well.
Oh God, yeah. Let's see.
And
Nope.
I was like, I'm gonna have my notice in, and I told like people at work, and they were like shook because someone's reduced their hours in my job role that I do. So there's already hours missing. So if I have my notice in, there will be 30 hours they'll have to find,
Oh
which is a
no.
lot. And there's already like no staff anyway at the minute. So yeah, I'm having a planning session at the weekend with my mum about different things I can do. I think I'm gonna try and hold on for another month or two. But like truly, just I feel miserable. Like I like obviously went through therapy not long ago, and it was really helped me a lot. And I feel like my feelings and like my sense of anxiety and like depression has changed so much. Like it's so weird. Like literally only a couple of months has like changed a lot for me. But like I truly recognize now that this is making me miserable, and I'm feeling the way that I used to feel. Um Not in necessarily like I want to die and I can't cope, but it's just like, oh my god, this is so depressing. Like, why am I making myself literally feel physically sick all the time over a job where I am in the end replaceable?
Yeah.
My friend Anna said to me, "Why are you stressing about a job in which you're replaceable? You leave tomorrow, they'll just replace you. So don't worry about it. Don't panic. Why are you worried?" And I was like, I never thought of it like that. So I'm gonna have a planning session of stuff I can go into. It's like that whole thing though, like I feel guilty because jobs are really hard to come by at the minute in lockdown, and it's like a decent, not for what I do, but it's a decent paying job for my first proper job. But it's like happiness and stable mentality, or a little bit of money, part-time work money. Not sure about that. Not sure about that. I feel like it's bad though, like that I've not stuck it out. I mean, I haven't quit yet, but it's just I saw a tweet. Let me find it. Oh, this is going to take long. I sent it to my friend Kira, and it was about key workers and like working in supermarkets, and it's just so true. Oh, where is this? Where is it? Here it is. I love being an essential worker in a time of plague. I get no raises, risk my life every day, and get treated like dirt by people whose ideas of freedom is shopping.
Did
Is that
they
not true?
lie? Did they lie?
They lie. Did I fucking lie?
That's
Anyway,
crazy. That's so true. Yeah. Yeah. No. You have
yeah.
to prioritize yourself, have to. Like, no matter what anyone says.
Mm.
So, you
I
know.
literally have night. I dream about my job. I wake up in the middle of the night going, "Did I do that? Why? Why? Tell me why. Tell me why I'm this stressed out. Tell me how they got me working a 9.5 hour shift that I didn't know was 9.5 hours and didn't get a break. It is actually illegal.
Is this illegal? That's
I'm
slave
telling
labor.
you, forget them dimples. This is illegal. You know what I'm saying?"
Hey.
Anyway,
Uh,
enough about my depressing life right now. But anyway, that's that. That's how I'm feeling. Funky
mm.
fresh. So yeah. Am I pessimist or optimist? Let's start the episode.
Mm.
Okay. So, like for this episode, I wanted to like discuss the term glass. Is your cup half full or is your cup half empty? Like, what kind of a person do you think you are? Do you see like things more positively or not?
Um, I think when I was younger, definitely used to be a glass half full kind of person. Definitely used to see like the positives, like find the fun in everything. But
Mm.
like coming into adulthood, like gaining more responsibility, learning more about the world, I'm definitely now, I wouldn't say I'm fully the opposite, like fully pessimist, half empty. But I do find myself like complaining a lot more. And to be fair to me, there's a lot to complain about. Yeah,
Our
life
truth. To speak your truth.
life is a bit, right now.
It's a
It's
bit
not.
sticky.
It's a bit of a sticky one. But
Yeah.
I feel like when I'm at my best, I do like try and see the positive, and especially when I'm talking to other people. Like it's very
Mm,
easy for me to complain about my own stuff, but if someone comes to me, I do try and help them like see the positives and try
mm.
and yeah.
I think you're quite a positive person. I think like you could be a lot more negative, but you're not.
Okay.
Especially because you've been through like a really hard year. I don't really feel like you complain much about it, to me anyway. But yeah, I feel like you're quite positive, and you're very uplifting, I think, as a person.
Oh.
I, however, I think I'm glass half empty. And I mean literally because like, if I'm drinking some juice and I see that did you ever do it where like you're really thirsty, you fill your glass up and then and then it's like half empty and I refill it again because I'm like
Oh,
it's almost empty.
yeah.
So literally I feel like I am. But that might be just because I'm a greedy bitch. But no, I just think like I feel like my whole family's a bit like miserable
Yeah.
and like we're all like very pessimistic. Like I don't know. I think like I'm personality wise, I'm not like that, but I do think like I am like, I don't see the good in things and stuff, and I'm always like, mm,
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
I kind of see that. I see where you're coming from. I don't think like you're a negative person or anything, but you are kind of like you've said this to me, like more realistic. So if something
Mm,
goes wrong, you're more prepared. I'm very
mm,
like I can be positive sometimes, but I can also overlook things that might go wrong or mistakes.
mm,
But you already you clock that straight away. I think it's a good
mm,
way to be. It's all about balance, isn't it?
mm. When
Yeah.
I was looking at like pessimists, oh, pessimism, oh, pessimism, pessimism,
Yeah.
pessimism. That's the right one. When I was looking at pessimism, optimism. Is that the right word?
You got it.
Optimism. Optimism. It came up with realism as well. Like, are you a realist, an optimist, or a pessimist? And I think I'm a realist. But I
Yes.
think some people think being a realist is being a pessimist. Do you know what I mean? But I just try to be realistic about situations
Mhm.
because I feel like then I can prepare myself for stuff.
Yeah. Definitely. I feel like taking, for example, lockdown, I remember you were one of the first person to say to me, we're going to be back in lockdown in Christmas. After Christmas,
Mhm.
we're going back into lockdown. And I don't think that's a pessimist thing to say because, you know, if you look at the facts, I mean, look at us now. We're in lockdown. So yeah,
I feel like even at the beginning of the pandemic, I was like, this is going to be bad. Like, I
Mm.
remember people on my course were like, oh, this isn't bad, because we started to talk about like maybe our play would be filmed and we wouldn't have a live audience. And I was like, I knew straight off the bat that this show was not happening. And when Finland got cancelled as well and we weren't flying, when I knew we weren't flying, I knew 100% that we would not be doing our shows. But everyone was holding, like, I don't know whether they were being hopeful or if they just didn't really understand, because not a lot of people understood at that point how serious it was going to be. But I was like, no way, this ain't happening. Now I was like, yeah, but Taran's got a plan, and I was like, okay, but yeah, I knew it wasn't gonna happen. But I feel like I'm not like well educated. I feel like I like to look into things and stuff so I can know like how things are gonna go. Like me, like I gotta look at the restaurant menu before I go. You
yeah.
know?
Whenever we go to eat, you always send me the link on WhatsApp. I'm like, oh, she's got it. She's ready.
Yeah. I'm not messing about. I'm not going and sitting down and waiting for the disappointment when there's nothing on the menu that I want to eat, you know?
Mm.
I'm not doing that to myself. But yeah, so I think I'm a realist, but like I was thinking about like the last year, and I was thinking like is it can I even remember like positive stories from 2020? Like what have I really, if I was to say now, like tell me a positive story from 2020, can you think of like one? Yeah.
No.
So I was like thinking, do you feel like last year it was really hard to stay positive, or do you feel like it was all right, or like I mean, you had a much more difficult year than most people.
Yeah. I mean, with 2020, like when we first think of 20, because it almost became like a thing, like a meme. That's not quite
Yeah.
the right word, but when you think of 2020, you think, what a shit show, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, when you first think of 2020, it's like, oh, horrible. But yeah, looking back, there was good moments. There was nothing like noticeable because all the major news stories, all the big events
Mm.
were all negative. But things like in lockdown is something that most people have never experienced before. So people were pulling together. There was a lot of community spirit, and that was nice to experience.
Mm.
Yeah, like negative things. So like I experienced grief last year with someone
Mm.
I lost my dad, and it's very easy to be like negative about it, but I think the main thing that got me through that was trying to stay positive, so seeing the positive sides in it, and getting close to people, reminding your loved ones that you love them. And
Mm.
yeah, so
Even when you're ragging your sister's hair out, do you tell her you love her?
yeah, I do it out of love. We fight out of love.
Facts. Sometimes they need to know that I can rag their hair.
Yeah, at least I'm
Uh,
there to rag their hair. Some sisters won't do that, So you're welcome, Hannah. Said, Hannah, you're welcome for me
it's
fighting you.
really interesting today because I had an SOS issue at uni today, and I messaged one of the technicians at the theatre at uni. And the first message that I'd ever, there was literally two messages between us on Facebook. And the first one was, sorry, I can't make blah, 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 blah. I'm self isolating. And I thought, why am I self isolating? And it was because I'd seen you.
Oh,
Yeah, it was around that time. And
yeah,
I thought, oh my God, I can't believe, like, because when I was thinking about it, I was thinking about when in lockdown have I self isolated and I need to message this person. But like it was before even that all kicked off, like we had lockdowns or anything. So that's why I was so confused. And it was just so like it just opened my eyes, like how long ago like it all happened. Like it was this time last year, wasn't it, really?
it was,
Um,
yeah.
because I remember it was near the exam period. And obviously because I'm teaching a module now, I know like the exams period's coming up again. So it's just I know it was just so crazy to just see that today, and it just reminded me of all the stuff in the last year. I feel like this the year's just been so long and so many ways. It's like I can't believe that was last year. I feel like I've lived like 10 lifetimes since then.
Yeah, I was speaking with a colleague today about that actually, like how it's weird. It feels like this year's been so long, but also it's gone really quick in a new way.
Mm,
Like it feels like COVID is still so new, and
mm,
obviously the big turning point of 2020 was going into lockdown. And when you think we're still in lockdown, it's like it feels like not much has happened, but at the same time, it's been so long and so draining. So it's a really weird sensation.
mm.
But yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's been a very hard year, and that's why I think it's really. I feel like we focus on negativity more than positivity, and I think because of last year, it was really hard to think of many positive things. Um, and I was like thinking about positivity, negativity, and stuff, and I was looking at different news articles and stuff. Um, and I was thinking like I don't really read the news because I find it too depressing. So I was thinking about like, do you think the media and the news is too heavily revolved around negativity?
100%, 100%. What's that word? There's a phrase for it. It's like fear baiting or something like that, or doom reporting. And there's like a media theory. Remember studying this at A level. People are more like likely to listen to the news and stay aware and follow it if it's negative because they want to know what's going on. I mean, like in the past year, actually, in the past few months or so, that's had the opposite effect. People have stopped listening to the news because it's constantly so negative. But like, if there's this constant danger, this constant pit fear and panic, then like
Mm,
it keeps people in tuned, and that's why
mm.
like a lot of news is negative. So I definitely agree with that 100%.
I feel like, especially over the last year, there's been so much going on. I mean, before we had the whole pandemic, we were going through a lot of like climate change stuff, which was quite negative in a way that people needed to see. Then we had the pandemic start, then we had Black Lives Matter movement, which can be quite depressing, seeing all the violence and the treatment of people. Um, what else have we had? We've had loads of, we had all the Trump stuff.
Yeah,
Um, so I
fires.
feel, yeah, oh yeah, all the fires. There's been so much stuff that's just been kicking off over the past year. So I feel like it's been a lot to take in. But I was thinking as well about all this stuff. So we're saying all this, there's been all the climate change stuff. But I was thinking, does truth bring negativity? Like, okay, we need to talk about climate change because we're in a global crisis. It is negative, but like it's the truth. But the truth is really depressing. So I was thinking, like, even though they maybe do fear mongering in the media,
That's the word, fear
is that the
mongering.
word? Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, even though they do fear mongering in the media and in the news, does that stem from truth, really?
Yeah.
Is our reality actually quite depressing?
Mm. It's a hard one. I think, yeah, I think reality is, especially now looking at 2020, quite depressing. It seems like everything's going
Mm.
wrong. But the reason I would say like fear mongering and dooms reporting is like such a big thing because I feel like it's not a fair representation between the things that are going wrong and the things that are going right. Like
Mm,
like we said, we can't always pick out the good things in the world, and maybe last year there wasn't a lot, but so much has happened, and I feel like negative stories do make more money because we're humans. We get concerned when we see, oh, the climate is you know going wrong.
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it's like, oh, we've got to do something about it. You're compassionate, you have emotions. If you see something nice, you think, oh, that's nice, and then you move on. You don't really
Mm,
think about it again. So I feel like negative stories do definitely evoke more emotion, but
mm,
that's not to say that it's not a true representation of what's going on in the world.
mm.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard because it's like a complete like split. You've got the fear mongering, which is sometimes stemmed out of truth, sometimes not. As we know, the media lies a lot, but also the media in some way has to be somewhat negative in a way sometimes because it has to highlight to us the things that we need to change.
Mhm.
And change is positive, but the reason why we need change is negative.
Yeah.
if you get what I mean. So
That's a good quote there.
you know that there go in the trailer that. So I think it's really interesting. I think it's like yin and yang.
Yeah.
My mum always says you never get a yin without a yang. You know, positive and negativity, they sit really close together. And I think that we have to have these things in the media to some extent, because, you know, once it's about when something is done to you or you see something repetitively, that is when you finally notice and pick it up. In psychology, there's a tipping point for social change. When 10% of a population believe in something, that is the tipping point for change. So, you know, if the media is out there enough and we start talking about these problems, you know, like making people more aware of the protests in India, if 10% of the population started to understand, that could be the tipping point for change. That's the very basic. Please, psychologists, don't come at me if that's wrong. That's how I interpret what I learned in psychology. But yeah, so it kind of does go hand in hand. But I do feel like the way in which people in the media, and especially newspapers, write articles, it is so depressing, and there's so much political reasoning behind a lot of what's written. And a lot of it isn't true, and it makes people believe things, in which, you know, we've ended up with a conservatory government because of such things, which is really interesting, because that's how powerful the news and media is. But yeah, I'm going off on a tangent now, but I just think it's quite interesting. The media has a lot to play in how we feel and what we think.
Definitely, I would 100% agree with that. I feel like, especially looking at more traditional forms of media like tabloids, newspapers, and like TV news, that's all a business. They all have their own agendas, and
Yeah.
obviously, they report, you know, what's going on in the world, but they report it in a way which gets a response from their audience that they want. It try and keep them watching, try and keep them tuned in, etc. Yeah, when you were talking about newspapers and lines, I couldn't help but think about the whole Harry and Meghan situation. I'm not sure if you're keeping up. Yeah, that doesn't really fit into like positive or negative stories, but just thinking about the media and how the interview and how all of that just exploded and how people are reacting to it. You don't know what's true, what's not, and like so many people are having an opinion on, you know, these people and their lives and what they've experienced. So yeah, I'm going off on a tangent.
I think at the end of the day, though, when it comes to these things, it always reminds me of, at the end of the day, why are you so invested?
Yeah.
Because their lives have nothing to do with you. Okay, so whether she's telling the truth or not, it doesn't matter. Okay, whether the royal family are telling the truth or not, it doesn't matter. The points that are highlighted are important. So racism, mental health, those are conversations that are important. That's what you should be focusing on.
Yeah.
Whether she, you know, she did this or she didn't, or that's her half life, that's half. Why are you so bothered? Why are you crying? Why are you crying about it on TV? Why are you getting so upset that you walk out and you leave your job? Like, why are you so invested in someone's life that literally does not affect you? If it does not affect you, why are you so upset? That's what I would say. And I think it could stem from two things: boredom.
Yes. Yeah.
And ignorance. People don't, or not being educated on certain things. And at the end of the day, I just think it's ridiculous. It's like when people get so invested and they start like sending death threats to people, and it's like, you've done this, and what are you doing? What are you doing, fam? Where are you getting this time from? I'd like to know where you're getting this time from. Yeah, so that's what I think on that. I'm sure we'll cover the Meghan stuff at some point. That would be an interesting episode.
It would be, yeah. I was gonna say I just definitely agree, and I think that like how people respond and get invested. So not even gonna get into Piers Morgan because huge.
let's not go there.
Let's not get into it. But like audiences, so like when you mentioned death threats and stuff, I thought that's a result of fear mongering, right? So these media corporations who are putting out negative stories, they might be reporting on what's true, but they're doing it in a way which is making people react in a certain way. So like you said, we've got a Tory government now because people believe certain things. People are starting to hate Meghan. People are starting to hate Pierce, even though I hate Pierce. But you know, it's the way things are represented and presented to us as an audience. That's, yeah, don't know where I was going with
Everything
that.
you read and everything you see, you should always take everything with a pinch of salt, because everything is written for a reason. What is that reason? So I think it's really important to be careful what you read in the media, because it's always written with an agenda. Whether it's good or bad, there's always an agenda, and there's always going to be biases, you know? But that brings me to something less negative. So I was thinking, I can't think about what happened in 2020 that was positive. Now, I've had a look at this list by Glamour magazine. Again, don't read everything you read in the media. But I started to be a bit negative about some of them, but we'll go through and I will tell you why. So number one, the top one of there's 26, but I don't know if I'll go through all of them. Number one, Captain Sir Tom Moore raised 38.9 million for NHS charities together and won the nation's hearts. So my G, who was what was he, 100, 101 or something? Or was he 99 going on 100? Anyway, and he walked around his garden so many times to raise money for the NHS, which was amazing. However, should a 100-year-old man who fought in the war, who can barely walk, be walking around his garden raising money for the NHS? I don't think so. You shouldn't have had to do it in the first place. So, first of all, story number one, I'm not feeling very positive about it, really.
Sorry, Glamour, but
Hey, Glamour. But, and then the second one's controversial as well.
oh no.
Is it Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris? Became the first female, first black, and first South Asian US vice president elect. However, doesn't she like bombing Syria or something? Oh, don't start me on that one. So that's controversial. So at this point, I was feeling a bit uninspired. But yeah, so here is one positive thing though. Number three, due to movement restrictions and significant slowdown of social and economic activities, air quality improved in many cities. So, you know, we were struggling with global warming for a long time. And then because we weren't going out, because we had to stay at home, you know, the air got better, which is good for the environment. So I thought that was nice. I hadn't thought about that as much. Number four, that's shit. Anyway, let's move on to number five. So the Black Lives Matter movement, we started having important conversations and we all came together to protest. Even though it was a negative response from some people did come together, and it was amazing to see a movement that was already there, but to see it explode the way it is. You know, I feel like we started to reach that 10% tipping point. Like it was like a domino effect. Everyone was just coming out. So I thought that was cute. And then again, I feel a bit like, you know, a bit shit about number 6 as well. So here comes the pessimism again. So like it was saying about how we remembered how lucky we were to have the NHS, and then we came together every week to clap on a Thursday forum. Clap! Hang on a minute. Boris has only given them a 1% pay rise, and he decreased it by 15% last year or something, didn't he?
Yeah.
So they've not really got a pay rise. Oh, Robert, let's clap for them then. Oh,
the whole clap thing, it's like, so people come together. No, I think, no, I didn't do it either. But yeah, I think it's people trying to be positive and stuff, but the reality of the situation is that you know, it's negative. And even now, years later, a year later, seeing what they've done during this pandemic and knowing that they're only getting that 1% pay rise, it's just a reminder that, you know, we live in a society where pe- people in charge don't care about us. And I think
Mm.
that's one thing that makes it, you know, harder to see the joy in, even if we come together
Mm.
as people. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm sure the NHS would rather you stay at home. You've got
Yeah.
my fucking neighbour who we heard in the garden having everyone round last year and going, "Oh, I don't do it. I don't care." Da, da, da." But she's out on the front clapping for the NHS. But she's been spreading her germs everywhere. Anyway, so that was number 6. Number 7. Ugh, vile. I'm not going over the rubbish ones. Number 8. I don't think I knew this. Africa was declared free of wild polio after 4 years without a reported case. That's good.
Oh, that was very good.
So we love that. This got loads of backlash. So our government's awful, as we know. But Marcus Rashford succeeded in his campaign for free school meals for vulnerable and disadvantaged children, forcing a major government U-turn. Because the government was like, we're not going to give free school meals to kids or some shit, didn't they?
Yeah.
So he came together. I don't know, who does he play for? I don't know. Marcus Rashford. Rashford, not Rashford. Oop. Oh, Manchester United. My guy. So that was great. I think he got a lot of backlash for that though, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah. When number 9, I'm skipping over 8, or 10 or whatever it was. Number 9, for the first time ever, the Oscar for Best Picture went to an international feature film, Parasite. That was great.
Yes. Yeah.
That was great.
That was really nice to see.
So we love that. Number 11 or 12, they're not going in order. I'm very confused. Okay, anyway, number 12, this is a good one for me. So restaurants obviously couldn't open, so they started to share their secret recipes so that we can make them at home. Wagamama's was well good for that. They did loads. Yeah. You go on their Instagram, and there's loads of videos of like how to make all their like food from home. So I mean that's not a big one, but then I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Some of these are awful. Oh, this one's quite cute. So Crayola,
Yeah.
the crayons. They launched a box of crayons with diverse skin colors for children to accurately color themselves into the world. So there was like different skin pigments. So it was really cute. So it was more inclusive, which is nice because, oh my God, I can't stop hiccuping. I was like thinking, like, I never really thought about it before because obviously I'm white. I never really thought about it before, but there's like not much diversity if you're not white, really.
Yeah.
Um,
When I
yeah,
think back, that's an interesting one because yeah, I wouldn't realize it when I was little, but when I think back and we'd have to do like self-portraits at school, like the options were like brown or orange.
yeah,
That's it. So yeah, that's really nice. Yeah.
so cute. Another great story from last year. The government announced that blood donation rules for gay and bisexual men will be relaxed across the UK in a fundamental shift towards recognising people as individuals, which is great.
Yeah,
We love to see that.
we do.
Hang on a minute, this ain't right. Who's Lashna Lynch? Lashna Lynch becomes the first black female 007. Come again? I thought Daniel Craig was still 007.
What? I need to see
Let's
this.
go. Who's this?
Who's this then?
Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, my phone's bipping and bopping. Says Lashna Lynch will play the first black female 007 in the James Bond movie No Time to Die. Really? Did she
2021.
really?
It's not out yet,
Has it
but
come out yet?
no, September.
This year, September. It was meant to come out last year. Are you sure? No Time to Die. Oh, it's coming out this year. Well, they
Wow.
must have suspended it because Oh, it's going to come out in September. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I was about to say, I don't know who she is. I'm sorry to this man, but I don't know who you are. Oh, that's great. Sick.
Yeah. I feel
I just
like a lot of these changes, the positive ones, are like around people, like people based, like
mm,
do you know what I mean? Like people making change and representation happening. So
mm.
that's just what I've noticed. That's really good to see.
The next one is obviously because we couldn't really go to the cinema, drive-in cinemas have started to make a comeback because
Yeah.
obviously you can keep yourself isolated. Me and Kira were gonna go to one a couple of years ago, not because of coronavirus, but it got cancelled because of the wind. So I've not ever been to one yet. Oh yeah, so Scotland are ahead of the game at the minute. They've become the first country in the world to provide free and universal access to period products.
Yes, yes, they did.
We stand.
We do stand.
Um, yo, vaccines for COVID-19 were created and proved in record time. My G in Coventry getting the first jab.
What's his name?
No, it was a woman.
Oh, was it?
It was an old woman in Coventry.
Oh, I thought it was that Shakespeare person. I think
Who?
there was an old person and their surname was Shakespeare and they were one of the first people. I thought he was the first,
No,
but maybe it's that
no.
woman. But yeah, she got it. Our queen.
And this is the song I love to hear. Okay, you ready for this one?
Go.
Harvey Weinstein was sentenced to prison for sex crimes, giving some sense of justice to his victims. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Send that man to prison.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, disgusting.
Finally. Honestly.
Oh, I never snitch on daddy. Joe Wicks devoted his time to keeping the nation's youngest fit throughout lockdown with virtual PE sessions.
King. Go off,
Yeah,
King.
he's sexy. Um, what else is that? There's just a picture of a banana bread. I don't really know if that's the best thing that came out of 2020, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Um, oh God, these last one. Oh, the last one's okay. The last two are awful. But there's some of the positive things that I found.
Mm.
But I also wanted to highlight something I found that I have seen before and I completely forgot about it. So there's a website. Oh, I can't get comfortable. I've been sitting in this position for too long, and I'm like, oh, I'm like a child. I can't sit still. Oh, okay. So, it's called Good News Network. Um, basically, it's literally a whole website of like positive news,
Wow,
like
that's
just
good.
positive news. Good news, good talks, good gifts. So, like, um, where's an example? Um, for the first time in 170 years, Asia's longest missing bird is seen in Indonesia. That's
Ah,
it. A new super Earth has been discovered near one of our galaxy's oldest stars. Love to hear it.
we do.
In world first, English museum successfully breeds endangered harlequin toad.
Yes.
Amazing! Amazing!
We love that.
Inspired by Marvel's mythical Wakanda, Ugandan village is built on shea butter and solar power.
Come on, yes.
All this
Innovation.
great news. So it's a really lovely website, which I thought was like nice to like go and look at. And it has like different news from all over the world. Um, yeah, it's just really lovely stuff, which was nice that I found that through my research. Um, so yeah, and there was one last thing I wanted to mention, and I wanted to get your opinion on it, but we had a good segue into like positive stories from 2020. Um, what do you think to like Instagram positivity and like accounts dedicated to positivity?
Um,
Like, how do you feel about that?
I don't know. I was gonna bring up like social media, Instagram earlier when we were talking about media and bias, etc. But I thought that's a bit deep. But yeah, like Instagram positivity accounts. I don't know because there are some good ones, and like recently, I feel like there's been messages that people need to see, like, especially it's been such a, you know, sensitive, delicate time for like all of our mental health. All of us are struggling, going through hard times. So we need to remind ourselves to be kind to each other, to be kind to ourselves. So in that context, it's fine. But there is toxic positivity. So
Mm,
like in the first lockdown, it's very easy to like be patronizing and not really consider each other, like,
mm,
oh, be good to yourself, go out, go on a run, you know, drive to your friend's house. These are really bad examples, but just assuming that people, you know, can do certain things,
mm.
and you know, telling them they'll be fine if they just get up and, you know, do
Oh
exercise,
yeah.
they'll be fine if they just cook, make banana bread. It's
Mm,
that kind of stuff. It's very
yeah.
anti-productive, not productive, if that makes
Mm.
sense. Yeah, so it depends.
I think I find positivity like quite cringy sometimes, which is like my own personal problem.
Mm.
But I find it like really cringy on Instagram a lot of the time. I think what I find cringy is like you know, when it's like people talking like this, like, oh my God, guys, you just need to do this, and my life's perfect, and that kind of like Instagram image I hate, and I think that's why I like dislike like really positive Instagram like accounts. But like my trainer, um, she's like she does like obviously fitness stuff, but she does like positive posts like it's hump day, try and get out of bed and make your bed today and stuff like that. And it's like not in your face sort of stuff. And I've really liked it. Like I'm not usually someone that like likes that sort of stuff. Like it kind of like bugs me usually, but I don't know, she does it in a quite nice way where it's like not in your face. It's like you can do it, not you have to do this and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people are like, you've got to do this to be happy. Mm,
Well,
I feel like everyone has their opinion on what makes you happy. So, you know, when people like do this and it makes you happy, no, this is one suggestion of something you could do. Like when it's like so forced and like shoved down your throat, like people like exercise is amazing. You need to get out and exercise. Yeah, well, that's not what everyone's happiness, positivity thing is going to be. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to have something different. So I hate it when it's like in your face positivity.
yeah, like, yeah, not to say like exercise doesn't make you happy. Exercise is good for you, of course, but it's like, yeah, when you're trying to change people and make them believe, follow a certain lifestyle, it can be really draining to consume that,
Mm,
like that positivity, like, oh, do this and you'll be happy. It's like another chore, and people have already got enough going on. It can like
mm,
make people miserable in turn. But like you said, like about what stuff like India's posting, so make your bed today, and people being really honest. Like I've seen tweets about, oh, I'm really proud of myself. I managed to shower today. I haven't
mm,
showered in like months. And people are like, that's something to be proud of. Like being honest and sharing those
mm,
experiences. If people can
mm.
relate to that, then that's a good positivity that we should promote, because
Yeah.
times have been really, really hard. So
Mm,
if we can promote that honest positivity and, you
mm,
know, sharing ourselves and not like pushing things onto other people,
mm.
that's something that I will support. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think Instagram is a very dangerous place for positivity sometimes. And I think there's a lot of fake positivity. I think a lot of people say they're positive and they're actually really miserable. I think it's that whole facade of social media that there is. But yeah, I was thinking about like, you know, overly positive, like, you know, like gurus. I think that, oh my God, mate, you need to, oh, does my head in. Does my head in. It makes me not want to be positive. It makes me want to be angry. It makes me want
Mhm.
to punch someone's face in. Um, so on that note, that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Oh,
so yeah, so positive, yeah. Just stay positive.
uh,
Stay positive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, guys, all you need to do is every morning, 5 a.m., wake up,
Yeah, go on a run for
go,
2 hours
yeah,
and then come back and make yourself a herbal booty lose weight tea and then you need to meditate, your 5 chakras, and then post online about how amazing your life is. And then for dinner, have 1 bowl of 1 grain of rice and 1 broccoli leaf, and then go to sleep with all your creams on, and then wake up again in the morning and do the exact same.
You forgot banana bread. Don't forget your daily activity
Oh my
including
god, yeah,
banana
but,
bread.
like, give the banana bread away because, like, you can't afford them calories.
Yeah, that's it's too much. Go
Yeah.
outside, give them to homeless people, film it, make a YouTube video about how good you are. uh,
That hard. Jesus.
oh no, we
Oh
we
my gosh.
joke, of
Okay.
course.
Ah, is
um,
it a joke? Anyways, that's the end of the episode. And as you know, we like to take some time at the end of the episode to highlight something or bring awareness to something. So hit us with it, Aisha.
Okay, so for this episode, I thought something that is important to talk about, and something that I kind of knew was happening, but I didn't realize how much it was happening. So
Mm,
we definitely need to talk about this. Is the current surge in racism against Asian people and people of an Asian background everywhere in the world. We've seen a lot of it in America, and there's lots going on in the UK as well. I don't think people realize. Starting to see loads of graphics and posts on
mhm,
Instagram and Facebook and on the news. So yeah, it's just crazy. So there's some pages that I follow on Instagram that are really good at, spreading accurate information from Asian people and giving their perspectives. So it's Dear Asian Youth London on Instagram, and I will link them below. They're the UK chapter of Dear Asian Youth, which is a non-profit. And yeah, they've reported about the surge in anti-Asian racism and how it's increased by almost 300% during the
mm,
pandemic in the UK alone. Yeah, hate crimes have been rising significantly from 261 to 300, nearly 400 per month in
mm.
2020.
Yeah, I was quite shocked. I knew it would be a lot more than usual because it's especially it is especially fueled by Donald Trump, I think. I think even in the UK, I think its negativity has wormed its way into our society as well. I don't think that is the only reason why it's gone up, but I do think there are public figures that are driving that message home that it is an Asian problem, not
Yes,
a world problem. I mean, actually, technically, it's a meat eaters problem, but let's not get into the vegan agenda on that one. Um, but yeah, it's I was quite shocked that it was 300% that it had gone up. That is just mind blowing. When I saw that number, I was like, surely that can't be right. It just seems like an absolute massive number. Which obviously is correct. It just seems unbelievable, doesn't it, when you hear that?
yeah,
And I know that there's like a hashtag or a phrase going around called "Stop the Asian Hate." That's what it's all coming under at the minute. I know a lot of people have been raising awareness, celebrities and stuff as well. So it is a lot of it. I think does come under lack of education. You know, I just people are ignorant and don't want to learn, and it's a great scapegoat for aggression. Um, people are always angry and they always want something to be angry at, and that was just the easy target, wasn't it, at the minute with the coronavirus happening.
yeah,
Whose life can we make miserable next? I always think sometimes is what people think.
definitely.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, we will highlight some accounts and stuff below as well. And I'm not sure if you had something else you wanted to.
Yeah, so that page, Dear Asian Youth London, have actually started a petition. They're aiming for 25,000. They're almost there at 22,000, and it's basically to start the CARG COVID-19 anti-racism group to prevent and speak out against racism targeting British East Asian people. And the goal is to get the government to speak out and do something about it. So we will link that petition below for you to sign and share. But yeah, super important. So check it out.
Okay, so that really does bring us to the end of episode 17. It started off a bit rocky, but we managed through in the end. So, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. We've got lots more to come. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what we do next. I actually need to think about it. At the minute, there's a big episode we wanted to do on Donald Trump, but honest to God, where are we finding this time to watch this documentary?
I know.
Oh God, it will come. It will come. I need to
Eventually.
finish. I need time. You've
Yeah.
got a break soon, haven't you? Easter holidays.
Yeah, like we just literally go back to school and in 3 weeks we'll be off again.
Maybe we
So,
can do it when we're off,
yeah.
and I can watch it then.
And the thing is, I thought like we shouldn't be in any rush to do Donald Trump because I bet loads of stuff now he's not president will come out. So yeah,
Watch this space.
Mhm.
Watch this space.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one.